Hello and welcome to another stacked episode featuring the latest in sports. I'm Dip Dipianco.
And I'm Sean Kitevis. We've got UAP basketball action, but first, let's talk volleyball in the PVL. This is Starting Lineup.
JD! Puts it on top and hits a nice attacker three.
Gold medalist, Olympic champion,
The heart of volleyball is well into the second round of the prelims, and we've got volleyball analyst Neil Flores to break down his top storylines to watch. Neil, welcome back to the show. Pa-exciting yung PVL because we're now in the second round of preliminaries, which means competition is getting tougher and fiercer for all the teams, Sean.
Absolutely, Neil. Welcome to the show. Let's jump right into this PVL action. I want to talk about Zeus Coffee. They're right at the top. They're undefeated. Can they stay undefeated throughout the prelims?
I want to say yes, but at the same time, I'm also on the fence because the other teams have also improved. But if you're asking me if they can, yes, I believe that they can. Because in terms of roster composition, isa sila sa pinakabuo. Of course, you have one of the best, if not the best reinforcement right now in Anna De Beer, scoring for them. She's number one in scoring. She's also number one in terms of attacking efficiency.
Yeah.
My main concern lang for Zeus is the consistency of the local support. Because in that game against Chocomucho, the Flying Titans had Anna De Beer's number. In a 4-set match, she could have easily scored 30 points, but she was limited to 20. Limited na yun sa lagay na yun, but
Yeah.
I would say that the Flying Titans had a lot of block touches, and Tang Ponce also had Anna De Beer's number.
Yeah.
It's just that in the end game, she will always come up big for Zeus Coffee. When they have local support, that's when everything falls right into place for the
Yeah.
Thunderbells. Doon mo makikita yung full force ng system nila. And if they can bring that out in the next coming games, they can sweep the preliminary rounds, but when we get to the quarterfinals, it's a single game elimination.
Yeah.
So even if you sweep the entire first two rounds, but you end up losing the quarterfinals, wala din eh. So I think their main focus is really to win the quarterfinals first. Kasi mukha namang pasok na sila
Yeah.
with their current undefeated record.
Any names in particular in terms of the locals na you want to see step up or be consistent for the Thunderbells? Because I know there are a bunch of people who have gotten their Player of the Game awards and also helping out Anna De Beer. Pero meron bang in particular, maybe if you could name at least a couple X factors for them?
I think the production of Jovelyn Gonzaga and the outside hitters in Chini Arroyo and Viola Ceballos will definitely help Anna De Beer because nobody's perfect. I mean, she also makes mistakes from time to time, and when she already gets checked by the defense of the opponents, tumatagal sa rotation yung Zeus Coffee. I feel that Jovelyn Gonzaga has been helping them a lot in terms of defense. Para na nga siyang second libero, as I would always say during our coverage of the PVL. Ang dami niyang touches sa coverage, ang dami niyang touches sa digging. Even in receiving, isa siya sa mga rare opposite hitters who actually pass.
Yeah.
And that's a rare find for Zeus Coffee. But if she can bring back the scoring of her being in the opposite side of the court, ang laking tulong nun for Ana and Cloc Mondoñedo.
Yeah.
A lot of exciting things for Zeus. It's hard to stay undefeated, but they have a good shot at it. Let's talk about two rising squads in the PVL right now. Let's start off with the Capital One Solar Spikers.
I'm very happy with the performance of Capital One. A lot of people already anticipated a better version of this team, and right off the bat, they were able to take down a couple of veteran teams already. They won against Chocomucho in straight sets, and I think the biggest impact talaga ay yung pagdagdag nila sa roster kay Bella Belen. She is by far one of the best players overall in all
Yeah.
skill departments. And in the PVL, you always need to have an ace, as we call it, yung
Yeah.
go-to player ba na main scorer mo, and they have found that gem in Bella Belen. So one person can really change the narrative for a team, especially in the pros. And this is just the start for Capital One. The middles are also starting to get their numbers as well. Mas maganda na yung connection with
Yeah.
Iris because they had a shaky start. Dun sa unang few games nila in the first round of preliminaries, hindi nagko-connect when it comes to counterattacks and transition plays. But in their last few games, everybody has been chipping in. And that's the capital one you want to see if they want to go all the way also.
Yeah, Bella Belen has really been a difference maker for the Solar Spikers, yung kanyang pagdagdag sa roster. Talagang inaabangan na rin yung Capital One in the games in the PVL. And another surprising team, rising team rather, that we want to talk about is the Farm Fresh Foxies, who saw action earlier in the first game in the PVL. But they have matured a lot. I remember when Trisha was here on the show and she talked about how naka-adjust na rin siya with a number of awards the past couple of conferences. Sobrang comfortable niya. But what else has been working for the Foxies?
So well, Ces Molina has been a big impact player also for the Farm Fresh Foxies. Bago lang siya sa system ni Coach Lodi, but slowly but surely nakaka-adapt na siya doon sa kung anong gustong galaw na makita ni Coach Lodi. They also have a heavy-handed reinforcement in Eli Rosso. Kaya kanina, just to go back to our first point about Zeus Coffee, Farm Fresh feeling ko yung pwedeng maging kontrapelo. They are sister teams, and I think that out of all of the teams in the PVL right now, they were able to win the reinforcement procurement game aside from the Petrogas Angels. Ang lakas ng mga reinforcement, kompleto din yung locals, they're heavy on recruitment, and now I think nawala ng butas sa Farm Fresh. They also have a great setter in the Alohi Robbins Harty. They just won now against the Petrogas Angels. So they've been taking down a lot of heavyweights as well. So they are on the rise, and let's see kung how will they fare pag nagkaharap na sila ng Zeus if ever.
Sakali, no? Sila yung unang makatalo sa sister team nila.
Yeah, the rising squads are super exciting to watch right now. Let's talk about some teams that, you know, we're used to currently seeing at the top, but are currently struggling. Let's start with the Signal Super Spikers.
Yeah, it was a rough start for Signal. Before the season started, they were part of my top 4, and then they started dropping games, and then they even had to change reinforcements in the middle of the season. But now they're finally starting to find their rhythm. That's the most important part. Even if you lose a couple of games in the first and the second round, again, babalik tayo sa quarterfinals, their eyes are set there. Dun talaga lalabas yung totoong laro ng bawat team. But for Signal, I think that the defense is still there. That's still their main weapon against other teams. The net defense of Rosalind Doria, Jackie Acuna, floor defense of Don Macandili Katindig, yan talaga yung naging consistent all throughout. And now with Vanny Gander back in the fold and KT, another heavy swinger in terms of reinforcements, they can get more wins in their last few games.
So they were able to beat Akari, that 2 more tests, they have to face Creamline and Zeus Coffee. So abangan natin. Medyo mabigat yan for Signal, but we'll look forward to that matchup so that they could hopefully make it to the quarterfinals as well. Now let's talk about another team at the bottom na sanay tayo nakikita sa taas. The defending champs of Reinforced Conference 2022 rather. Nag-champion yung Petrogas. Right now, they're struggling, and as you mentioned, natalo pa sila sa Farm Fresh kanina. What is lacking, or what do we need to see from Petrogas in the next couple of games so that they could still have a shot in the quarters?
Well, I think it's just really the new system. They have a new coaching staff, and ang hirap rin mag-transition from a Japanese system to an American system. I know that chemistry is already there between Brooke and her parents, but it's a different story when you integrate and incorporate all of the other players there. Iba rin talaga ng coaching style. So I think that's the biggest adjustment na ginagawa ng Petrogas ngayon. And they're also trying to shuffle and rotate their setters. A while ago, they used Cheng, they used Tolentino, you also have Chisaet. So, it's a double-edged sword, I would say. Crucial yung magiging palitan ng setters because iba sila ng diskarte, iba din yung bato nila to certain players, and they just have to be careful kung kailan nila gagamitin yung mga double substitutions nila.
Yeah, let's do a quick preview now of 2 of the 3 matchups here. We have a couple sister team showdowns. We have Creamline versus Chocomucho. Break it down for us real quick.
Okay, it's a must-win game for Chocomucho. One more loss and they're out of contention for the next round. Creamline is also looking to solidify their possession. You need to win at least 3 games But if you get to 4, you'll be in a better position. So for Choco Mucho, one more loss, yun na nga. But again, I just feel like it will be a battle of pride between these two teams.
Yeah.
Just by looking at their track record, laging dikit yung games. 4 sets, 5 sets. Yes, there were 3-set matches before. But you can never expect a result
Yeah.
pag naghaharap yung Choco Mucho and Creamline. Maddie Madayag is someone to look out for.
Yeah.
She just posted 10 kill blocks in their last game. And she really wanted to win their last match. And I'm sure she will be bringing that same firepower when they go up against Creamline. Sa Creamline naman, they've had their own inconsistencies, especially in the passing department. So that's something they have to polish
Yeah.
entering that game.
So for sure the fans will come out again this Thursday for that matchup between Creamline and Choco Mucho. Aabangan din natin yan. Things are getting more heated in the
Absolutely.
PVL because palapit na tayo sa quarterfinals. Neil, thank you so much for helping us break down the games, and see you in the next coverages of PVL.
Absolutely. We look forward to more PVL action. Now we shift over to UAAP hoops. When we return, you're watching Starting Lineup. Welcome back to Starting Lineup. The race to the UAP Final Four is heating up, and we've got basketball analyst Paul Zamar to break it all down. Paul, I am so nervous right now. Every game, the standings are changing. I'm praying and hoping for a lot of things to happen.
Dahil pwede mangyari.
Exactly, man. But let's start off with UP's dominant win against UE. Talk to me about that game.
It's very surprising. You see their two big men step up, and with a guard-heavy team, you expect those guards to dominate the game, but their bigs did dominate that game.
You have Francis Noruka leading the way with a double-double, 16 points, 12 rebounds. The UP now winning their 4th straight. Remember, in the start of the season, back-to-back losses yan, di ba?
Yeah.
Natalo sila sa UST in the opener, and then they lost to that Ray Allen Torres game winner in their second match. Nagpapanik na yung mga tao sa Diliman. But what has been working for them as of late, Paul? Aside from the big guys that you mentioned in the last game, ano pa yung napagbutihan nila recently?
No, they just kept the game simple. They just kept on moving the ball. They're more unpredictable when they move the ball, especially with a lot of playmakers. And Noire Mogat, he doesn't need to be the Noire Mogat of UE as before. He just needs to be Noire Mogat in certain situations, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have to be that way every single time.
Yeah.
So he finally relaxed, settled down, and he's blended well with the team now.
Yeah.
That's why they're on a 4-game winning streak.
We also have to mention Sean Alter, by the way. That was his breakout game. 13 points on 6 out of 6 shooting to go along with 6 rebounds and 2 blocks.
Paul, after they had a bad start and they lost to LaSalle, what has changed for UP?
I don't think they need to change anything because it's an experienced team. And, with a coach like Coach Gold, he trusts his players and he's going to let his players figure it out. And these guys know how to win,
Yeah.
They just went back to the basic and,
Yeah.
let's just move the ball.
Well, let's talk about UE. It's been a very disappointing season for them. They had some close ones where they could have gotten wins sa first round, pati nung second round. Pero I guess they just have to try and grind it out in the next couple of games. But unfortunately, their captain also, John Abate, announced na cut short na rin yung season niya because of an injury. Just your thoughts about how he led this UE fight in season 88, itong si John Abate.
Sa akin yung pa talaga tinanong ko about you, but
Oh,
it hurts.
nagkataon.
It hurts, but if you see John Abate play, regardless if they win or not, he's gonna give his 100%. He's having a great season for himself, maybe career high in scoring and assists and maybe rebounding. He's giving his best out there for the team,
Yeah.
And especially Precious Momo having an up and down season, with all the controversy and the adversity they're facing. He just comes out and plays every single day.
Yeah. Hate
Yeah.
to see them go down, of course. Especially John Abate, you want him to finish his career. But he made himself known, diba? What he did already was more than enough for the UE community, and we wish him the best of luck and the fastest of recoveries moving forward.
Congratulations on a great career. Now let's move on to a really exciting game to watch. NU beating Adamson. How did that happen?
That's where I lost my voice and all in that game.
You know, last year, wala yung FSA nila na si John. Now Jake Figueroa can be himself. You know, with a big man patrolling the paint for them, Jake Figueroa can do his thing. And that is to score baskets. Maybe he struggled at the start of the game,
Yeah.
but he recovered in the fourth quarter, and that's where they needed him the most. And also, yung other Parks,
Yeah.
that made the winning basket for NU. He stayed in the moment, he stayed ready, and when his name was called upon, he delivered. That's what's good about NU, kahit kanino mo ibigay yung bola, they're ready to make the play for Coach Jeff Napa.
Yeah, Jake Figueroa. This was the pass to Mark Parks. Yun yung layup ni Parks for the tie, and then eventually made that free throw to win the game for NU. Now, unfortunately for Adamson, they had the chances there, Paul, diba? Dikit, they missed a couple of free throws, but again, it's tough to beat an NU team that's now at 9 wins and 2 losses. But what does it take, or what will it take for one team to go against NU? Because so far, it's only been UP who has beaten NU.
Just do what UP is doing, a guard-heavy lineup, making them work very hard on defense and attacking their weak points, which is very short on guard rotations din ng NU. So,
Yeah.
papagurin mo talaga yung guards ng NU.
Yeah.
Quick question, Paul. Are they looking like champions now?
They look like it, but UP is not. UP is a scary team, and
Yeah.
also I'm not gonna count out these teams outside looking in, like
Yeah.
Ateneo, UST, even Adamson.
Adamson, dyan pa rin eh.
Yeah.
Diba, at the 6th seed with back-to-back losses, but let's see how they will bounce back in the next coming games. It will be an interesting race to the Final Four. Paul, dyan ka lang, pag-uusapan naman natin yung mga susunod na games in the UAAP. So stay with us, and more UAAP basketball after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching Starting Line. Welcome back to Starting Lineup. We've still got basketball analyst Paul Zamar and another exciting game day to preview happening tomorrow at the Mall of Asia Arena after the postponement of games nung linggo. Balik tayo sa UAAP. This Wednesday at the Mall of Asia Arena, first match ang pag-usapan natin, Paul. UE versus USC, as mentioned earlier, the part of this show, yung UE still looking for their first win. And this might be a good chance because they're going up against USC that has been struggling for the past 4 games. They have lost all their games in round number 2. So what can you say about this matchup?
It's a good chance for UE to upset UST, especially with their Final Four bid. But also, it's going to be a character game for UST. Character means yung mantra ni Coach Pido, which is pride, puso, palaban. It's beyond X's and O's na eh, especially when you're struggling. You just have to, play with pride, play with a lot of heart, and play like you don't want to lose that game. And that's what's missing with UST.
Yeah, speaking of UST, why is it crucial for them to bounce back in this game?
With the standings being very close, a loss could probably be your elimination. So every game counts now. And with how ultra competitive the UAAP has been this year, every game counts, especially for UST.
Yeah, na lumalaban pa rin for the Final Four. So hopefully, they break that losing slump against UE for the first matchup. Sino yung mga key players na abangan natin dyan, Paul?
For me, number 1 is Colin Akowe. He needs to throw his weight around in there, especially you're matched up against Precious Momoe. He needs to win that matchup, Not scoring-wise, but limit Precious Momoe. Because UST is a very talented team. They're an experienced team also. And I'm looking for Nick Cabanero, to be the guy, to be the main man for UST, not settling for outside shots kasi wala nang Sean
Yun na
Kitevis,
nga diba?
sa UAAP. So it's a free pass for him to bully those guys, especially he's the most experienced, one of the most experienced guys in the UST team. They need him to take charge.
So you have UST and Ateneo tied right now. Who's making the Final Four cut?
Sean, why are you looking at me like that?
I had to.
On the spot no? On the spot.
But it's a toss-up, 6-7. Pero it's a toss-up kasi Ateneo is dealing with injuries. But Coach Tab is gonna do his best coaching-wise. With UST, they're very healthy. They're the host, and they need to show some pride. Pakita nyo naman na gusto nyong manalo. So it's a toss-up, Sean. I can't.
Mahirap. And
Hirap, Sean.
they're like 2 or 3 more games, diba? Maybe you can ask him again when there's like a game left, diba?
Talk to me tomorrow, Sean.
After the results.
I think he just didn't want to break my heart.
He was saying something else earlier, right?
I know.
All right, let's talk about the game after that. Far Eastern University versus National University at 4:30 p.m. Medyo mahaba-haba yung pahinga ng FEU, diba? I think their last game was the one you covered. Yung overtime win nila
Very
against
exciting game.
Adamson, which could have gone to double overtime also if that shot of Montebon was just a bit stronger, I guess, pero good line. But what can you say about this game between FEU and NU? Is FEU a team that could upset NU dito?
FEU has shown a lot of moments of brilliance. I covered that game. I saw how Joric Bautista and John Ray Pasaol struggled that game. But they were willing to share the ball. They played as a team more. And that opened the door for Kirby Moncopa to have a really, really good game.
What a game.
Mr. Do-It-All. I call him Mr. Do-It-All for FEU. So they have the tools. They have flashes of brilliance. They just have to do it more consistently to upset NU. And for NU, they just have to continue to play as a team. Team basketball. Team defense, team offense. Huwag tayo lalayo sa ginagawa natin.
Yeah, this game is actually crucial for FEU. They're fighting for their chance at the Final Four race. Can you tell me how can they pull off this upset against NU?
Well, their guards. They have explosive guards in Pasaol and Bautista. So they're gonna give them a chance this game. And if Moncopa steps up big, we might see an upset.
Yeah, you call him Mr. Do-It-All kasi nung against Adamson, di ba? Naka-block pa siya sa dulo. He was able to score threes and just a great season for the rookie of Coach Sean Chambers. What about for NU? Babalik ta rin ko yung tanong for NU naman. What should they do to avoid an upset against FEU? Kasi minsan ito yung mga games na parang pwede mag-relax pa yung top team, di ba? Wala, nasa taas tayo, di ba? Parang what's there to lose? So what do you think should they avoid in this game in order to still win?
They just have to avoid with FEU style of play, and it's really fast. They play really fast. So they just have to, slow the game down, work on your offense, secondary, tertiary break, and get their top dog, Jake Figueroa, more involved. Because he's a mismatch out there. He's going to be a mismatch.
It's totally different the way NU plays, di ba? Na sabi mo nga, parang sila yung team na medyo mas slower pace. They like to kill you with their own style of play na hindi fast break. Hindi fast break yung laruan ng NU, di ba, Paul?
Yeah. It's not that they don't run the fast break. They're opportunistic in their fast break. But they'd rather use their strength, which is team ball.
Yeah. So abangan natin yung games, diba? Of course, fans always miss the UAP, so we're looking forward to how the matches will play out this Wednesday. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you, guys.
For breaking down the games for us. Always a fun time with you, and looking forward to your next coverage.
Absolutely. We can't wait for the Final Four to kind of settle down a little bit.
Wait for your Ateneo
3 games pa siya.
get in.
3 games pa.
And for UE to get their first win, maybe, let's see.
It breaks my heart.
But thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Sean Kitevis.
And I'm Dip Dipianco. This is Starting Lineup.